Good morning, I'm Leah Nevitt, and this is Local with Leah. As we age, a lot of things happen to us, right? And a big concern is dementia and Alzheimer's. Sadly, 1 in 9 people over 65 will be affected by dementia or Alzheimer's, and that's 6.5 million Americans. So it's a huge deal. Alzheimer's and dementia not only affects obviously the person diagnosed, but the whole family. And it is often confusing to find a facility that specializes in dementia care that's trustworthy. Something that's not really discussed a lot, which is why I'm here at Kemper Worthington. For anybody joining, we're going to talk about dementia and Alzheimer's care and why Kemper Worthington is a little bit different than your typical dementia facility. So I am standing here in the gym. Let me flip my camera here. We've got the wonderful Greg Cini, who is the owner of Kemper Worthington. Greg, thank you for having me.
Thanks, Leah. Thanks for coming out and spending some time here at Kemper House.
Yeah, definitely. So we're in the gym. You've got just a wonderful facility here. There's so much we're going to talk about, but I want people, can you share with everyone what makes Kemper House different than other dementia care facilities in the area?
Sure. I guess I'd like to start out with one point because you mentioned the numbers that people struggle with. The disease is 6.5 million and growing, and especially the baby boomers are sort of coming into this age group that dementia tends to affect them more. For the first time in the history of humanity, though, we really have some hope to combating the disease. Most people have spent a lifetime fearing. It's one of the most feared diseases on earth.
I know that feeling. It runs in my family too, so I know the fear.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to tell the audience that there is hope to combating this disease. Even if you have a dementia diagnosis, there's things that you can do that are very basic to who we are as humans that can really push back against the disease. So I just wanted to sort of bring that to light, that this era now, that there is hope.
That's wonderful. That's great to hear. And
I
think we'll get into a couple of those things a little bit later on.
And so that was really the premise behind Kemper House. So Kemper House have been operating in Cleveland for over 30 years. Betty Kemper, the founder of Kemper House, was a pioneer in the industry. She's been working with dementia care for over 50 years. She's 81 now, and she's sort of the matriarch of the Kemper family, and I know her and have known her for now 24 years, and she's like a mother to me. I love her to death. I'd walk through fire for her. But their family has been dedicated to not only helping people live with the disease better, but also combating the disease. And so Kemper Worthington is sort of a Kemper 2.0 version of what they've been doing up in Cleveland.
Okay.
So there's a number of things that we do that are different. We have a lot of social things that we do. We're this incredible blend of medical model versus social model, and we mix those two. So we have an incredible care team, healthcare team, nursing staff that really understand the dynamics of the disease and all the comorbidities that go into aging, even beyond the dementia itself, because all that stuff impacts us cognitively. And so we work very hard medically to really sort of meet our residents where they are. And then on top of that, we use food, nutrition, we use exercise and fitness.
Where we are right now is in your wonderful
gym. We're in our Kemper
Fitness
facility. And the thing that's special about this is there's no other gym that I know of that's built like this. So I actually worked...
I'll just like pan around here as you talk.
Yep. I worked with a gentleman that had been working with seniors for over 30 years. He actually used to own the Nautilus manufacturing plant, and he helped me pull all this equipment together. And so
it is very specialized equipment. I came in here and I was like, whoa.
There's
lots of cool stuff
We're really
in here.
dealing with most of the comorbidities that seniors deal with, from gait issues, balance issues, bone density issues. This unit in the back here was developed by NASA, and it was built for astronauts because they lose bone density at 10 times the rate because the gravity force is no longer on them.
Makes
so
sense.
they had to figure out a way to create resistance training without having gravity. And so they created this machine, and then we've been able to apply this here on Earth with seniors. And so this machine is designed, if you work on it 15 minutes a week for 6 months, a 70-year-old can get the bone density of a 50-year-old.
Whoa,
And
that's pretty
so,
cool.
yeah, and so it's I could talk
Oh
for an
my
hour about
gosh.
that, but I won't.
Yeah.
So we use this gym to really push back against the different comorbidities, including cognitive decline. So we call it multimodal exercising. So while you're increasing your heart rate, increasing blood flow to your brain, oxygen levels, you tax yourself cognitively. So if you see this machine here, we gamify, right? So they're
Yeah.
pedaling, they're increasing their heart rate, their blood flow, and then they're gamifying on the computer here, and they could be racing others, they could be adding, they could be multiplying, they could be doing whatever things, but it's in that heightened state, and then that cognitive challenge is where we are really combating the disease. And so this whole gym is sort of built on multimodal exercising.
And in a way, that's how your whole facility, in a sense, is set up. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many different aspects of things that just improve life for those who are affected within the building. And I understand that it's not just long-term care. You do short-term care, you do adult daycare, you do all that sort of stuff here as well.
We do respite care. So if you're just going on vacation, you need to put mom or dad someplace for 2 weeks. We have those services available, and then some they need and then some might just need sort of a day program where they drop mom or dad off in the morning and pick them up in the evening, and we treat them just like they're our regular residents, and they go on activities. We're big about getting out of the building. We do a lot of really social things. We actually have a 57 Ford Fairlane that we're restoring. So we have some of our residents were mechanics. We have one in particular, his name's Ralph Love, and he was a Ford mechanic for over 60 years and actually worked with Henry Ford II.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that's what inspired me to go out and buy this vehicle, and I had it shipped in here, and it was so great because Ralph told me it gave him purpose.
Oh my gosh, that gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, that's what's
so
part
nice.
of this is like if you can move somebody in and give them a sense of purpose, then they'll come in and they'll work out in this. A lot of our residents, they've never worked out in a gym like this, and here they are. You know, Bob over here is 92, 94.
Oh my goodness.
And here he is going to be working out.
That's
and so,
amazing.
Yeah, and it's the coolest part because how many 94-year-olds are going out,
gym.
working out in the gym, and we have
Not
one-on-one
a
with our trained physios that are helping to do that. We're partnered with a therapy company that comes in daily, working with our residents one-on-one, and it's this handoff between a therapy company and our team. So there's never not a time where our residents aren't doing some form of fitness, and it looks so different between so many different residents. It could be just simply we have a mobile gym that we can bring to your room if you're more sedentary, working out in a chair, just lifting 2-pound weights, to just cascading around the building with one of our therapists, to really sweating it out in the gym. And so it just depends on where our residents are physically and cognitively.
Yeah, makes sense. And speaking of working out and working out your brain and brain health, what are some of the things besides what you already touched on that you guys are doing here to combat this disease?
Yeah, so there's a couple things that are really important that we really coach not only our residents on, but our families, because there is a genetic tie between the disease, and so if mom or dad or both have had it, you're more prone to getting it. And so living a brain healthy lifestyle is super important. So we mimic that here, but we also coach people on that. I do a lot of speaking about brain health, and a big thing is nutrition, our diet. 60% of the American diet is highly processed ingredients. So
Surprise.
all I tell, it's very simple. Eat like our grandparents ate. Farm-raised cattle, farm-raised chicken, eggs, backyard eggs, no preservatives, no additives, no processed ingredients. So our kitchen is actually farm to table. We work with a bunch of local farmers that provide us produce, provide us beef, provide us chicken and eggs. We actually have our own beehives. So when we sweeten, we don't sweeten with white sugar. We sweeten with either honey or
super
Ohio
local.
100% maple syrup.
Oh, wow.
So we have 12 beehives now off the southeast corner of our property. Then I'm actually a beekeeper.
Okay.
And we harvest over 500 pounds of honey every season, and
That's
we use
amazing.
that in our kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
So we really walk the talk when we're talking nutrition. And the byproduct of that is our residents have a medication reduction within 6 months of anywhere from 25 to 50%.
Wow.
And I don't think we have one resident that's on insulin right now. And it's
Wow.
all diet. The beauty part is we have a 5-star chef. As our residents are eating amazing food, they're actually getting healthier because of that.
That's so
And
amazing.
that alone makes a huge impact.
Oh,
we
yeah.
focus on sleep, socialization, which helps with depression and mental issues. We make sure that there's some mental fitness in there, throwing balls around, gamifying different things, working out in the gym, those types of things. And so, there's just some things that if you add into your lifestyle can really help either promote better brain health and even stave off the effects of dementia.
That's wild. Yeah, everybody, I mean, not everybody, but, I mentioned that my grandma had, Alzheimer's, and I'm in a boat with a lot of other people, and I'm relatively young, and early detection and prevention is absolutely huge. Memory screenings, I understand you guys do memory screenings, free service you provide. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so one of the things is it's twofold. So when residents come in, we can do a cognitive assessment on them. It's called CogniView. It's the first FDA-approved cognitive risk assessment machine, and it takes about 10 minutes, and it's a computerized system, and we've worked with anybody from 40 years old up to 95 years old.
Oh wow!
So
that's what I was going to ask, if there were age limits.
Age group can do it. The thing about it is our outreach side of it, so we can monitor our residents to see if they're actually having an improvement in their cognition.
Okay.
And that's part of the reason why we have the tool. We were the first Alzheimer's and dementia care in the world to use this in this type of environment. But we provide that service to anybody in Central Ohio that has some concerns about their memory. And it really is powerful, especially to help detect sort of where you are cognitively. It's not a diagnosis. It's just telling you that along the norms, if you score, it aggregates a number between 1 and 100, and depending on where you fall on that, sort of tells you where your cognition is.
Okay.
And
wow.
So take it. You can come here. You can set up an appointment. If you score over 74, then you're sort of in that normal zone. Anything less than that could be sort of like early stage cognitive decline. And then anything below 50 is there's probably something really going on there that you can at least take and consult your family physician. If they're not experts in that, we can point you in the right direction. We actually have Kemper Cognitive Wellness up in Cleveland. Their sole purpose is to help people combat cognitive decline of all sorts, whether it's disease related or just lifestyle related.
That's great. That's
absolutely
wonderful.
So if you are interested, you can reach out to us. You can call us at 614-681-8330, 614-681-8330, and you can set up an appointment with Chelsea, and I just highly recommend it. Anybody of age 40 and older should start as often as they get a physical checkup, should get a cognitive checkup.
Okay.
Because it's just like cancer was, 30 years ago, people didn't want the diagnosis because it was a death sentence, right? Now you want the early diagnosis because we can do so much about it.
There are things to do, yeah.
Well, now it's the same way with our cognition. Yeah. So the earlier you know something's going on, and it may not be disease related, it may be lifestyle related. We could help straighten that course out and either stave off effects of cognitive decline or a cognitive disease. And in some cases, we've been able to reverse the effect of it.
Wow,
and
that's
so
absolutely amazing.
That's where the hope comes in.
Yeah, like you talked about at the beginning. Now we're standing here in the gym. Let's take a little peek around for a minute. Now
Sure.
my gimbal kind of died on me here, so
it
technical
did?
difficulties. So we might be a little bit shaky when we walk down the hall. So I apologize to anybody watching. And if anybody just tuned in, we are at Kemper House, Worthington, talking about dementia and Alzheimer's care. We just left the gym and walking down this beautiful hallway, and everything's just, I gotta plug your wife real quick because everything's just so styled so nicely around here.
Yeah, she's pretty talented. So some of the things that we have around Kemper House is we have a hydroponic garden. We actually have a full 24 by 16 garden off the back of the property.
Wow.
And we have, it's really cool because we have people from all over the world that work at Kemper House. We're like the United Nations here. And in a lot of other countries, that's what they do. They garden, their families garden. So when we said we're going to put a garden out there, I built it, and they have just taken it over. And we just got zucchinis out of there that are this big. And we have some of the best gardeners in Central Ohio. I'm confident of that.
Oh my gosh.
So they've taken it on. It's one of those things like, oh gosh, now we have a garden we have to take care of. But they're really doing it. And so we do herbs off of our hydroponic, which we can harvest that every 14 days.
Oh, wow.
And then our garden out back, we're just pulling vegetables out of it for our kitchen. I did want to show you, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but
I'll look out the window and see.
Yeah, so
we can zoom in here.
Being social, being connected, finding purpose. There's something at Kemper House for everybody. We learn our residents' likes and dislikes, and we had a resident move in that loved fixing up cars. So we went out and we bought the 57 Ford Fairlane.
I don't know if anyone can see it back
and
there.
It's all right if you can't, but it's out there.
That's
I
amazing.
promise it's out there.
It looks great.
And so we're at the point where we're getting ready to paint it. We got it running. We've got new brakes on it, new windshield wiper system. And so the thing that's cool is I'm sort of living out my hobbies here at Kemper House. And so I don't mind coming in on a Saturday and Sunday doing my hobbies with our residents.
Okay, so we've got beekeeper,
beekeepers,
car restore.
cars, and then we also, I was sort of a chicken keeper, so we have chickens here.
Oh,
and
let's
I'll
go
show
check
you
out
that.
the chickens real quick. We gotta end here on the chickens. That's amazing.
So just so you know, at Kemper House, our families have 24/7 access. They just have a fob where they can come in the family entrances anytime to come in and check on their loved ones. That's very unusual for our industry. But I tell people, hey, come in on a late Sunday night, see how we are. Test the model here.
That's so important.
Yeah,
like I mentioned in the beginning, a trustworthy facility, because there are a lot of dementia care and Alzheimer care facilities, but a lot of them you can't really trust what they're doing after hours. I hate to say that, and I don't want to put a negative connotation to other facilities, but that's just wonderful that you do that here.
I've told myself that I'm not going to operate in fear. This is a highly litigious industry, and even technologies. So we have telehealth, telemedicine, and we use a lot of technologies that create transparency as to what we do. And I refuse to lessen our care because I'm worried about something happening that people can see. We want, we're not perfect. This disease is horrible. It's not perfect. We're imperfect. In fact, like every day you come with this plan and it gets shot out the window immediately. When we walk through this door, who knows what's going to happen, right?
Right, sure.
So I'm like, hey, if we screw up, we take it on the chin.
Yep.
But being transparent for me to families is everything.
It really is.
And it allows me to sleep better at night too. And it forces us to be better, stay on our toes
yeah.
at all times.
Oh, definitely.
At any time, a family member can come in here and say, hey, what's going on?
Exactly.
And we better be doing the right thing.
Exactly. That's so wonderful. It is so important. Oh my gosh. All right, let's take a peek out here.
Yeah.
You said chicken, so I'm here for it.
Yeah. So this is, once you get through these doors, this is our living space. And there's Judy. She's it's sort of built in the round. The disease of wandering is a powerful way of keeping residents connected with the environment. And so dead-end hallways are bad design for people with dementia because they sort of hit that dead end and then they're, oh, now what?
Where do we
they
go?
get frustrated.
Yeah.
This is built in the round, and our residents can wander till their heart's desire, and they always sort of end up in the main hub of activities.
That's so
and
nice.
so Judy, for instance, is shooting down this hallway. She'll circle this thing, I'm not kidding, probably 50 times in a day.
Aww.
And I said,
That's great
Judy,
exercise,
you're wearing
too.
out my carpet here.
Yeah.
But, you know, those little things, and that's sort of the Kemper way of doing things, and that's what they brought to us as best practices. And we just have sort of taken that to that next level.
That's wonderful.
Always
We've got a lot going on
doing
in
some
here,
types
don't
of
we?
activities.
Oh, that's so great. Everyone gathering together.
Yep,
That's
yep.
important.
Yeah, every day we've got a really robust activity calendar, but then you have to take moments of rest. Like it's called sundowning, and so if you're active the entire day, by 4 o'clock, your brain has been combating you the whole day, and it just wears our residents out. So you have breakfast, you take a little rest, you do an activity, you take a little rest, you have some lunch, take a little rest, you have an activity, you take a little rest, you have dinner, and then you just sort of chill out after dinner.
That's wonderful.
And that's what allows our residents to stay more connected deeper into the day itself.
Yeah.
But I'll just sort of take you and show you our courtyard.
Okay.
So we have 3 different neighborhoods here. We're in Colonial.
I love
right
how you
now.
call them neighborhoods.
Yeah,
It's
they
just
really
so
are.
awesome.
This is our residents' home. We're just guests here trying
Exactly.
to help them live their best life. And
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better.
so we
How
have courtyards
cute
and
is
everyone.
this out here? It's
Yeah,
so cute.
so they
I
can
love
come on nice weather days like this. They have full access to this. They can come and go as they please. You know, depending on the weather itself, we have to be cautious of that.
Right.
But over in the corner here, we
The
have
chickens.
Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, that's cute. That's adorable.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I see
so-
them already.
Yeah, so they're right here.
Hi, little guys.
And so it's just another way. Most of our residents, their family, either their parents or grandparents, raised chickens. I
So
mean,
it's
it was
familiar, and
very
that's-
common.
that
And
familiar-
so we
that's really important.
decided to have chickens, and they can come out, they can feed the chickens. We actually raised these as from teenagers. And so they're
Good
actually
hero.
really good with our residents. So
Aw.
they'll come out and eat out of their hands, and then they can go in and collect the eggs
eggs, that's the
themselves.
fresh
they-
eggs you're talking about right
these are
here.
not prolific egg layers. They lay about 3 eggs per week. So
Okay.
we actually just give those away to our care team or families.
Oh, that's nice.
But
Yeah.
we do have a lady that raises chickens and provides us with what I consider sort of backyard eggs
Okay.
for our residents.
So, Greg,
Yes.
parting words. I know we talked
Parting
about
words.
a lot. We talked about a lot here. So if you can leave the viewers with, one line of what Kemper House is about. I know it's so hard to sum up.
Yeah, no, well, it's our culture is built on family, compassion, and love, and we hire to that, we train to that, and we walk that out. And I would just tell you, if you walk into a community and the love and compassion and culture is not palpable, then you should probably turn around and look at something else. And like I said, there's times that it maybe doesn't feel as strong a culture in here that it should be, but we're still young in this. We're less than 3 years into
Wow.
this, but
You wouldn't know that looking
our
around.
vision is to make a difference in this industry, in this world, and be sort of an inspiration to other communities like ours in the industry, and say, this is the way, this is the future of how we care for people with dementia. And it's not just helping them age through that process. It's really combating that and giving them purpose and showing them love.
That's wonderful. That's well said, and I think you are already making a difference in the first 3 years of being here. So I want to thank you again, Greg, for allowing me to be here and showing me the facility and your chickens and your bee. Well, you didn't see the bees and your car and all the wonderful people here. And for anybody wanting more information, go to KemperHouseWorthington.com and check them out. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you all.